Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hope tells Thomas exactly what she needs from him, and Sheila and Deacon get a surprise visit from. Moment on the Bold and the Beautiful. RG helps Eric bring his vision to life, but Eric asks him not to tell his father. At Forrester Creations, Brooke tells Ridge and Steffi that Liam has refused to forgive Hope, and she's in a vulnerable state right now. Carter interrupts with papers for Ridge. He eavesdropped them and reveals that Liam and Hope have inked the divorce papers but haven't filed them. Steffi feels if Hope is sincere about wanting nothing to do with Thomas also, there's still a chance for Liam and Hope. Still, she cautions they won't work effects out overnight. Brooke is upset that Hope is vulnerable, and Ridge is concerned about the progress Thomas has made. Ridge tells Steffi indeed, though he's concerned about Thomas, he's still upset about her. She just wishes Sheila was behind bars. Ridge promises her it'll be fine, and he tells Brooke that goes for Hope too. Ridge exits with Carter to get to a meeting. In Hope's office, Thomas tells Hope he wasn't sure they'd ever kiss again, and he wants to stop kissing her. He tells her that she deserves to be with someone who loves her. Thomas speaks about their designs and how they need to stay true to themselves while designing, and occasionally they may be tempted to revamp the nostalgia of old designs. He feels it's a conceit for her and Liam's relationship, and she needs to stay true to herself and in the present. He says their kiss in Rome and all the moments they participated in his bed were inconceivable. He says Liam may be looking to the history and make effects new again, but for him, there's only her. Hope says this is all so important. Thomas knows she has disaccorded passions, and Liam got in her head about what he did in the history. He swears he's reformed, and she knows that. He asks her to let him love her like no bone differently can. Hope tells Thomas she knows her marriage is over, and she hears what he's byword, but she's not in love with him. She doesn't want to take advantage of his passions for her. Thomas believes he can make her happy. Hope won't pretend that he hasn't woken commodity up in her. He wants to give her what she needs, so perhaps they can start with regale. Hope tells Thomas that's not exactly what she's pining right now. She locks the door. Hope notes that Liam let her down and she's hurting right now. Hope explains she'll need time, but that doesn't mean she doesn't want Thomas. Hope asks if he can handle that. He says he's willing to live in the moment, and they passionately kiss. Hope and Thomas BB at the Forrester Manse. Eric tells RJ that his hands aren't working well enough to get his vision down on paper and asks his grandson for help. RG thinks he should tell Dad, but Eric refuses as Ridge wants him to retire. He's sure RJ is the one to help him. RG is flattered, but he's not a developer. Eric anticipated that, which is why he came set. He shows him an old delineation he made for him as a sprat and says designing is in his blood. RG agrees to help him. Eric asks for RJ help. Eric tells RJ that this means so important to him. He says his hand isn't working well, but his mind is as sharp as a method. RG begins sketching as Eric describes his vision. Eric respects RG's chops and thinks they make a good platoon. RG thanks his granddad for trusting him and believing in him. Eric asks him not to tell Ridge about this line or what's going on with his hand. He wants to show the world he's not to be counted out. Ridge and RG sketch BB at Deacon's. He returns home to find Sheila on his lounge. He can't believe she's still then, but she reminds him she said she wasn't going anywhere. He says letting her stay is a threat, but she calls it one with prices and they kiss. Cleric Sheila kiss BB. Sheila brings up his work and says how proud she's of him that he's set up his passion. She also thanks him again for giving her a place to stay, knowing this is a threat. Deacon says Brooke and Hope would cut him off if they knew about them. He says he loves Hope so much, and growing up he didn't have important of a family. He can't lose Hope. Sheila promises she won't blow their cover, which is why she slightly leaves then. She again thanks him for giving her a place to stay and says no bone. Understands her like he does. Cleric prodigies if he's taken too numerous kicks to the head in his martial trades, and that's why he's taking this threat. Sheila says she could always put on her nanny's livery and take care of him. As they get intimate on the settee, Ridge pounds on the door. Hope Logan needs time for herself and down from crazy Brooke. Hope Logan can eventually prove she's nothing like her mama. The bold and the beautiful's Hope Logan has been manipulated for too long by the two people she's been closest to, her hubby and her mama. She's eventually gotten down from one of them, and now it's time to get down from the other so she can eventually figure out who she's down from both their shadows. However, it's to not be like her mama, a woman who goes from man to man to man while cheating and lying through all of it only to come back to the same man who she insists is her fortune. If there's anything Hope has wanted more in her life. In Brooke's mind, every trick she has ever played and every secret she has ever kept to get rich has been fully justified. He's her fortune, and when you find your fortune, you move heaven and earth to be with him. No way mind the fact that he has done nothing but blend back and forth between her and Taylor for decades. That's how life is, and supposedly, that's the life she wants for her son. To Brooke, everything is a competition to win one man, and she spent the last 13 times trying to move Hope of the same thing. After formerly, accidentally sleeping with Hope's High Academy swain, Brooke came convinced that Liam Spencer was the man for Hope, especially since Steffi also wanted him. Still, also her son had to be the one to win him if Taylor's son wanted a man. To that end, Brooke told her son that she had to lose her purity to Liam, telling her that was the only female armament she had against Steffi. She also had the wimwams to look nonplussed when her 18-time-old son told her how horrible the night was and how she just wanted Liam to stop. Flash forward to 2023 and 30. Commodity Hope still truly believes staying pious to one man is the only way for her not to be like Brooke. She didn't realize that she was just like Brooke, contending against another woman for a man's affection for times on end. When she eventually realized that wasn't the life she wanted, Thomas Forrester was right there staying as he'd been for times. Sounds great, right? A man who has loved you and only you for times has just been in the bodies. Biding his time, staying for you to see that. Amazing. Except when that man has had internal health issues and did some terrible effects to you and others formerly upon a time in a deceived attempt to have you. When Thomas kept the verity about Hope and Liam's son Beth being alive back in 2019 and manhandled his son Douglas to get him to keep that secret, Hope studied she could no way look at him again. Still, time and remedy can heal a lot of injuries. After some thresholds and stops, Thomas has shown he's a different person. Too bad Brooke and Liam still haven't changed. Hope spent times forgiving Liam for his innumerous solecisms with Steffi, but Liam couldn't forgive one kiss with Thomas. Hope eventually decided she had had enough, slept with Thomas, and indeed told Brooke she wasn't going to be with a man with a disunited heart presently. Brooke didn't watch cause Ridge was her fortune. She demanded Hope return to her own alleged fortune and no way tell him anything about her relaxation with Thomas, but Hope didn't waver, for many weeks at least. Despite the fact that Hope hadn't forgotten about Thomas keeping the Phoebe is Beth's secret, Liam decided he'd remind her in graphic detail on the day of Beth's birthday party. He indeed told Hope she had lost her mind, and Hope began to wonder the same. Also, Brooke took over to move Hope that Liam was her fortune, knowing sharp well Liam had been spending every chance he got telling Steffi that marrying Hope was a big mistake because he still wanted her. Formerly again, she didn't watch that her son was someone's alternate choice. In fact, when Hope formerly again came the confused, weeping, frightened mess she generally is, Brooke was happy, telling Hope with a smile that she was acting like her old tone again. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.